Welcome to the Lauren Blackwell channel. Nobody wants to hear this, but unfortunately, Mackenzie is the kind of girl that would do just fine, if not excel, when she gets out of prison. By the time you consider that she's already chasing fame, she was chasing fame before all of this happened. She's a huge fan of the Kardashians. It is not far-fetched to think that she would be able to do some sort of reality TV after all of this to milk as much from this entire situation as she can in the future. Now, this may depend on how quickly she is paroled. She may be eligible for parole after 15 years. And well, she's eligible to request to be paroled. Whether or not she'll be paroled after 15 years is yet to be seen. Hopefully not, because 15 years is not a long time at all for two people losing their lives when she was in control of the machinery. But yeah, if she's paroled early enough, I will not be surprised if she goes the route of doing reality TV, because first of all, she has the perfect combination of, I want to say, chaotic thinking and toxic behavior to grab and hold people's attention. As much as people are criticizing her today, I think that if she continues this way, if she does not change and become, a better, calmer person in the future, if she continues to be the way that she currently is, she's going to draw a lot of attention, and she is going to milk this when she gets out. If she gets out early enough to where she's still kind of young and is able to get on TV. She was recently recorded on a prison phone call to her mother, and she was complaining about being bored and she can't. I think her mother asked her if she should get a job, if she would like to get a job there, and she said she cannot get a job because of the charges that she had. And I had never heard that before. I did not know that there were prisoners that did not work. I thought they all worked. We were just talking about sweat equity. So I'm surprised that getting a job is not like a guaranteed thing for her. I thought that would be just automatic. You go there, you begin serving your sentence, and you begin working. She also said that she is unable to get books. I guess it's her commissary stuff hasn't kicked in. That's what I'm thinking. I think that, since she just recently started to serve her sentence, everything isn't in place yet for her. But I doubt that this is the way things will be throughout her sentence. 15 years minimum is a long time to not have any books or to be able to work, at least. She's just going to die of boredom. So that will probably come later. This Netflix documentary, The Crash, that was recently released, I'm wondering where the proceeds for that is going to go. I tried looking up where the proceeds are going. Is Netflix keeping this for themselves, or is it going to the families of Dom and Davion? I think that the honorable thing for Netflix to do will be to have the proceeds go to the victims' families, because I think it would be very weird if, first of all, Mackenzie's family should not get this at all. She most definitely should not benefit from this, even though she was interviewed as part of the documentary. I highly doubt that they will see a penny of this. But as far as Dom and Davion's family, I think that they definitely should get the proceeds from this documentary, because it would be very weird if Netflix does a documentary on something like this that's still very fresh, and they interview the families and all of these people, and then they get to keep the proceeds to themselves. Like, I don't know. I don't think that it'll be right for Netflix to do that, because then they're just profiting off of other people's pain. So yeah, I don't know. I looked at their website. There was nowhere that they stated who is getting the proceeds. They did say that they were trying to get people to see other sides of the issue so that they can draw their own conclusions, but they did not say who was getting the proceeds. Gypsy Rose was also interviewed regarding the documentary, and she said she doesn't think that Mackenzie will get paroled early because Mackenzie is not showing remorse yet. And she also said that based on her understanding, the victims' families will be consulted and their opinions will be weighed heavily and used to determine if Mackenzie will be paroled, or when Mackenzie will be paroled, whether after 15 years or, whenever she goes in to request for that, which I think is the way it should be, because it'll be crazy if Mackenzie is paroled and the families do not have a say in it. I have heard of some victims suddenly hearing that the perpetrators of the crime on their family member was paroled, and they later on found out that they were paroled. So I don't know if this whole consultation that Gypsy Rose is talking about is the standard procedure. Perhaps it's supposed to be, but maybe that's not always the way that it happens, because they drop the ball sometimes in the legal system. That's nothing new. The family of Dom spoke out, and they said that they are not happy that Mackenzie is getting a bunch of donations. She's getting money, and she's just getting a bunch of things that her supporters are donating to her, and that she has found a loophole and a way to benefit from this situation. She did not give the specifics, which is why I tried to figure out if Netflix will be paying Mackenzie, because what did she mean by loophole? How is she benefiting? If it's the donations, I don't know if she has control over that. The worst people that are sent to prison always have supporters. There's really nothing anyone can do about that. People are going to support who they want to support. So I'm not sure what Dom's family members meant by Mackenzie found a loophole, but regardless, they're not happy that Mackenzie is getting donations, and I think that these donations are going to go on for a while, especially while the news, all of this is still new and it's still being talked about in the media. It's going to go on for a while, but I don't think it'll go on much longer. I feel like that after a while that's going to die out, and people are going to stop talking about Mackenzie, and she's just going to be in prison thinking about the things that she has done. It doesn't seem like she's not showing remorse the way that I think that she should. Although she, on one of her phone calls to, I believe, her mother, she did say that she almost threw up in the courtroom when they were talking about Dom and what happened during the crash, and that she didn't understand why they had to go into all of that detail. So I don't know why she said she almost threw up. Is it that she felt bad, or is it that she just did not want to hear about the things that she had done, and perhaps that's what made her feel bad? I don't know if that's remorse or not, but as far as the way that she is conducting herself currently, it doesn't seem like she's showing a lot of remorse for what she's done, and that is going to be factored when her parole time comes around. If she does not begin to show some kind of remorse and she's trying to change her ways, then I don't see how they will justify paroling her. But 15 years is a long time from now. Between now and then, she would have learned some lessons. She would have grown up a lot, and she would have thought a lot about the things she's done. And hopefully she would have changed. I mean, some people get worse in prison though, so it's not as if her change is guaranteed. Some people don't get better after spending time in prison. They get angrier and they almost feel more justified to do what they did that got them there in the first place. But Mackenzie did have a close relationship with Dom's family, but that has deteriorated now. So I don't know, maybe everyone is still very angry about the situation, and later on things might get to a point where they will, I don't know, perhaps mend the relationship with Mackenzie. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. Mackenzie's family is not helping her situation though. They're not helping her image because they are causing people to be even angrier at her. I don't know if you guys saw the interview that her dad did, where he said that there is some fixing that went on during the legal proceedings to ensure that Mackenzie went to prison and that she served significant prison time. And he said that only happened because of Dominic's last name and the fact that his family have political ties. And he said if he did not have those political ties, then Mackenzie probably would have had a much lighter sentence. Yeah, that's what he insinuated. So he's basically saying that Dom's family pulled some strings to manipulate the legal system to giving Mackenzie all of this prison time. As if, in his opinion, he does not think that even if Dom's family had no political ties, the fact that two people lost their lives in that crash does not warrant the person most responsible serving prison time. I mean, political ties or not, two people is a lot of people to lose their lives. And then she wasn't really showing remorse either, and the families weren't helping with the speech that they gave before her sentencing. Like, none of these things help her situation, and I don't think her father put that in consideration when he said that they pulled strings in order to make all of this happen. He also said that if it was just Mackenzie and Davion in the car, Mackenzie most likely would not be serving prison time. He actually made it sound as if she probably would have got a slap on the wrist or something because, Davion does not have the political ties that Dom's family has, so Mackenzie would not have served prison time. This is not the first time that Mackenzie's family have almost diminished Davion in this entire situation. I remember her family at some point made the statement that Davion is only, they only knew him for a short period of time. I remember people thinking, what's that got to do with anything? So what if they only knew him for a few hours? He was in the car and he lost his life as well. But they continue to diminish the effect that Mackenzie's actions has on Davion's family. It's almost as if Davion is just this aside, like he's not as relevant to the whole situation. And they constantly talk down on Davion, which is unfortunate. Which is why you need to be careful who you hang around, because as much as we like to disagree with Mackenzie's father, there is some truth to what he is saying. If it was just Mackenzie and Davion, would this have been handled the same way it is handled? Would they have been more likely to say that it was an accident? Honestly, as annoying as it is, that is a big possibility. So yeah, as much as what he said isn't right, I still think that there's some truth to it. They continue to refer to Davion as if he's this aside. It's like no one is really focusing on him as much, which is really sad. You can see that Mackenzie's chaotic thinking definitely comes from her family. They all have this weird way of almost like viewing the situation. It's almost as if they're not registering the facts of what happened. Just because Mackenzie would have been more likely to get away with this whole thing if it was just her and Davion, does not mean that she does not deserve the sentence that she got. Quite frankly, a lot of people think that it was quite lenient for them to have given her 15 years if they believe that this was her fault. If it was just an accident and she was just being reckless and this was all unintentional, then the 15 years minimum to me would have made sense. But if they thought that this whole thing was intentional and she intended to harm Dom and Davion in the way that she did, then 15 years to me is still a low sentence. And her father, her family should be happy that that is all she got, because it could have been worse, you know, it could have been so much worse. But I'm not seeing any remorse from any of them, honestly. They're using the words, they're saying things like they are apologizing for what happened and they wish it never happened. They're using the words, but their actions are saying otherwise. I saw this lady, she was on TikTok, I think, where she talked about what Mackenzie's father chose to wear when he does his interviews. And he wore some interesting shirts. One, he wore the orange shirt that looks like a prison outfit, and then in one he wore a t-shirt that said boom on it, and it's like, I don't know, it's, what is he doing? He specifically did not come across as feeling sorry for Dom and Davion's family at all to me. He seems more frustrated that his daughter has to serve as much prison time as she is sentenced. That's how it came across to me when I saw him speaking. But you know what? The apple does not fall very far from the tree, and you can definitely see Mackenzie's father in Mackenzie. Like, they are one and the same. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Everyone is still focused on this story, and like they still care and are still talking about Mackenzie, so she's getting some benefits from that. As far as the donations that Dom's family talked about, but I don't think that will go on for much longer. After a while, when this story is no longer new, I think that she's going to get less and less of that. I guess unless something else comes up and then her name is back going viral again, and then perhaps that would trigger more donations here and there. But I don't think that this is going to be the way that it is. I think it's going to get to a point where nobody's talking about Mackenzie. She's going to come back down to planet Earth. She's going to look at her environment and realize that she's going to be in there year after year after year after year after year, and this whole noise that is around her that is able to temporarily distract her now is going to be gone. This boredom that she is complaining about right now is going to be nothing compared to when nobody cares to talk about her anymore, and that is when she will begin to settle down and think about what she's done and consider changing her ways. Hopefully she changes for the better, because, you know, like I said earlier, some people get worse in prison. But, you know, she's still quite young, and who knows, she might change for the better and try to rebuild her relationship with Dom's family. That's all I have on Mackenzie. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.